about the 35th anniversary of this place that you're at right now, the Oil Creek Railway Historical Society and the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. Come on down. My ego needs lots of people to watch me and listen to me.
You look good today.
I'm trying. Thank you. Thank you. You got points. Thank you, sir. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ray Grabowski Jr. I'm the Vice President of the Oil Creek Railway Historical Society. I want to introduce some folks that are here, thank them. We've got Representative R. Lee James. Representative James, where are you? Well, he's waving at us if he heard us.
I can't see where
He's here somewhere. Hopefully he's spending money in the gift shop. Venango County Commissioner Mike Dulaney. He's waving at us too. He checked in. He's with Representative James in the gift shop. Mayor Crouch is here. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
See, he was the first one that gave me feedback. Good job. Crawford County Commissioner Eric Henry. Where are you? Everybody's on the list. I feel like I'm at school. And from Senator Brooks' office, Norma Anderton. I just saw you right there. So thank you to the special guests, and really thank you to all of you. By way of introduction, the Oil Creek Railway Historical Society, who owns and technically operates the place, is a volunteer board of directors. The folks, I'm going to read their names, not all of them are here, but there's Sue Bates, Jim Caldwell, myself, Barb Ives, Jody Lewis, Marley Manning, I didn't see Marley, Margot Mong was right here a moment ago, Vince Packard, Kevin Parsons, I saw him back there, Ron Scheffler, I saw Rod there, got his shirt on, Rich Winkler's the president, he had a medical problem so he couldn't be here, and Vince Withrop. Also, ex officio board member, Mr. Dingman, the operator. Also, Sherry Porter somewhere here, she's the general manager. There's Sherry back there. Just some quick stuff. You know, we say 35 years ago, and some of the folks in the room weren't around 35 years ago. 1986. Remember that?
Yes.
I do. It was yesterday, I think. Yes. It happens when we get old. So, before that, though, I'm going to go back to this guy called Mark Twain. He was here in 1859. And he says it usually takes more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. So I had less than 3 weeks, so that's why this is not a good speech. But 1986, Halley's Comet was here. The United Kingdom and France started the tunnel, that underground.
Yep.
Geraldo Rivera opened up Al Capone's tomb and found a bottle of booze. And unfortunately, it was the year that the space shuttle had its Challenger, had its catastrophe. Matlock was on TV along with Alf. Movies were great. Movies were great. If the paper would turn, I could tell you what it was. Tough Guys, Little Shop of Horrors. Peggy Sue Got Married, and a little mouse sang Somewhere Out There in American Tail. Stand By Me, Crocodile Dundee told us what a knife was. And the geek in me, you know, Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock saved the whales. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Mike Tyson won his first championship. The Chicago Bears won Super Bowl number 20, and the New York Mets won the World Series. Diane Warwick said that's what friends are for. Robert Palmer said addicted to love. Kenny Loggins said danger zone, or something about that. Addicted to love and danger zone. There's a lesson there, I guess. And more importantly for us, we said when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And the future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Now, 1986 saw two groups of people get together and say, let's save this railroad. And we did. Two very different groups. Talk to the folks on the train, they'll tell you, it was really kind of weird. The touristy folks and the business folks. Usually two groups that don't get it together too well. And they did. 35 years ago, that happened. 35 years ago, they made it work. That's what friends are for. And you guys are here right now. At this point, I'm going to stop talking. You know, they gave me 3 minutes, and I told them wave at me at 25. I need to introduce to you Sherry Porter. Sherry's going to quickly give us a rundown of who's here, and then Sherry will introduce Mr. Dingman.
Okay, guys, I'm a little more comfortable talking this way than I am with a microphone, so I'll do my best. This year has been an interesting year for us, coming back after a year of non-operation. The critical component has been the staff and the volunteers that we have. They have stepped up in amazing ways to make sure that this year was a success and to make sure that we have met all the obligations to provide you guys an absolutely outstanding ride. I will not say that we have not had our hiccups and our glitches, but we're learning as we go. And I just thank you all for being here and being a part of today. And I hope you enjoy your ride with us today. And Mr. Dingman, your turn.
Yay! Time's up.
I brought my speech with me, and I'll take the first 30 seconds of my 5 minutes to get it organized. When you see the speech, you can almost write it, and I wouldn't have to deliver it. Now, when I first got involved with you folks, I kind of stalked you. Came down here in the night, dark of night, went around with a flashlight, not a railroad lantern, and because you would have smelled me coming. And I looked at the property, and I did a study for Mr. Lou Petula. The board at that point was on the third study. And he said this was a feasibility study, meaning can we run a railroad here? And I said, you hired a short line guy that's used to making a silk purse out of a sow's ear. That was in New York State, of course. And I said, so the answer is, yes, you can run a railroad. So now you want the study, and I'll tell you the price. The interesting thing was, most of the conclusions I made were wrong. One of them was, you can't run it with volunteers. And you folks have done an amazing job with volunteers. As long as they keep volunteering and making new volunteers, I'm sure you'll do well. So anyway, after I came out of the dark, we ran a first trip. Margot tells me it was July the 18th, 17th or 18th of 1986. And most of the community and the board were at the Drake Well having a little lubricant, and I stood there waiting for my help, which was my son's and still is, the way things go, to bring the train. Well, Lou Petula had also hired Claybeck to do brush cutting, and his subcontractor had left the brush cutter on the runaround track in Titusville where the boys were trying to build the train. So I went up to Titusville because the crowd was having a second drink. And I found that the brush cutter was between the passenger train and the engine. Things couldn't get together. So then I had to go back and pull Claybeck out of the crowd and tell him we had to move that brush cutter. So as we finally got the train down there, maybe about a half an hour late, Margot, and I had Louis the champions of the railroad. Standing behind me saying, typical of Dingman, New York and Lake Erie stands for never yet left early. Finally, we got the train there and the engine was on the proper end. The cars were behind it and the brush cutter was back here. We loaded the patrons on the train. There were no lights now and it was getting dark, especially down in the valley. And we ran the trip relatively successfully, except for somebody says once in a while there's brush in that valley. We came back with dents and dings in some of the equipment. Now, after that, we tried to get help as cheap as we could. And the Amish community took one look at us and said it was a bad deal. We tried to round up help from local Titusvillians. Some of them were pretty skeptical. But we did put together an operation and we were able to start the freight business within 3 months after starting that fabulous excursion train in the dark with a bunch of drunks. In any case, it's now my great pleasure to compliment you folks on what you have built in 35 years and challenge you to come up with the next great leap forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
So 35 years ago, Halley's Comet was here. It'll be a while before it comes back. But you know, it was that bright flash in the sky. And in a way, it kind of was what we thought, or everybody in the world thought Oc&T would be. A bright flash in the sky that would go away, but it didn't. It's still here, thanks to you. The volunteers, the staff, Mr. Dingman's staff, everyone who's here to ride the train. I'm gonna say two things. Thank you, and get on the train.
I'm here on behalf of Senator Brooks. She's got a citation from the Senate, and she couldn't be here, so I have a citation, a letter to read on her behalf. Dear Oc&T Railroad supporters, it's with great happiness and nostalgia that I congratulate you on your 35th anniversary as a community dedicated to preserving our nation's fascinating oil and transportation history. Thank you for ensuring that vintage trains continue to chuck through the valley to change the world. I'm grateful for this opportunity to honor not only your longevity, but your adherence to the highest standards of excellence and community service. Trains have been an essential part of our economy and have captivated the public's imagination for decades. So your devotion to preserving that precious heritage and transporting more than 750,000 passengers over 35 years is truly inspiring. It is also impressive that our scenic area is blessed with the only working railroad post office in the United States. In honor of this wonderful milestone, please accept this formal Senate citation, along with my heartfelt congratulations. Your hard work and vision have truly made this anniversary possible and have given railroad workers and regional producers of raw materials a priceless remnant of our transportation legacy.
All set, Jeremy?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I would just like to say on behalf of the city of Titusville that I didn't ride the train on the first ride, but I had my 3 oldest kids on this train in early 1987, and it was fun. When I moved back here in 2018, I've had all my grandkids. I got 17 of them. I've got all of them on the train. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad they're here in the community. I've lived 17 feet from a railroad. Now I live 8 blocks from the railroad. It sounds a lot prettier from 8 blocks than 17 feet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, you can tell Chris is lining the train up. The engine's hooked to the passenger cars. I guess it's time for you to enjoy. Thank you. Make sure you sign the banner if you haven't. If you want to sign it after the train ride, it'll be here.
Welcome aboard the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad trip through the valley that changed the world. As you ride the train, you'll hear how oil carried by this railroad changed this valley and your life forever. You'll travel to a time before gasoline-powered automobiles, before plastic soft drink bottles, before polyester clothing. Imagine how different your life would be without these things, made from oil, as you enjoy your trip through history. Your ride will be safer and more comfortable if you review and follow the safety rules printed on the back of your Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad ticket. After we leave the Greatwell Station, you're invited to walk through the train and visit our Railway Post Office, where you may purchase and mail souvenir postcards from the last Roman post office operating in the United States today. You can also buy hot dogs, sandwiches, and snacks at the Railway Post Office bar. While you're exploring the train, please take your camera along to photograph the beautiful views of the Oil Creek Valley from the open car. You are now leaving the Perry Street Station, the northern terminus of the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. This building replaced the structure destroyed by a great flood and fire in 1992. As a Pennsylvania Railroad freight station until it was converted into a mill in 1962. Over two bridges on the way to Greatwell, Michigan. In the 1860s, the creek was covered with a skim of leaking from large petroleum was carried to Oil City and down the Allegheny River to Pittsburgh, where it was refined and kerosene. Today, the creek is a vast trout fisherman's paradise. At our first stop, passengers from Greatwell Museum Park will board the train. This marks the site where the modern oil industry began, when Texas trading in 1859. The railroad speculators supplied Please stay seated as your journey through the valley that changed the world begins.
On the right side of the train, we're going to be coming up on a couple of our train celebrities. First of all, you're going to see Flamingo Guy, and you'll know why we call him Flamingo Guy. And then, again, on the right side, Mrs. Fraser. The engineer is blowing the whistle so she knows we're coming. There's the Flamingo Guy. No, it doesn't look like Mrs. Fraser's out today. We'll check on the way back. She's 100 years old and she comes out to wave at the train. So maybe we'll get lucky on the way back. Thank you. Passengers, we just passed our drink well station, passing it right now, and then we will be passing the Drake Well Museum. If you ever have a chance to spend a couple hours there, it's really, really interesting, very first class. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we have here on the train. We have the only operating railway post office car in the country. We call it the RPO. You can buy a postcard, you can buy a stamp, and we have a little mailbox, and you can, a lot of people send them to themselves, but you can send a postcard today, and it will be stamped, it will be sent out. So come up to the RPO and check it out. We also have fresh popcorn, we have cookies, candy, chips, crackers. In the cooler we have pop, iced tea, cold water, and we have candy bars in the cooler so they stay nice and cold for you. So in just a couple minutes here, I will let you know that you can get up and check out the train. Go to the open car if it's open. It's really interesting to stand out there. You get a really good view of the valley. There's a lot of wildlife you can see, birds, deer, and we have seen a number of bears. Last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, each day we saw a bear. So go to the open car, watch out the windows, you never know what you're going to see. Thank you today for being with us on our 35th anniversary. Enjoy your ride through the valley that changed the world. You can now get up and roam around the train. Thank you. Passengers, we are coming into the station now. Please remain seated. Also, the RPO will be closed while we are in station. Please remain seated. We're adjusting the train.
Down and then back up.
All right, you're now free to disembark and enjoy our Rin Farm station.
Hold on. Hold on. There you go.
of our world. It's used in 1,000 products that sometimes we take for granted. Axle grease to gasoline, pocket comb, rockets, medicine, plastics. And it all started with a man called Colonel Drake just 120 years ago. So, good night, Colonel Drake, and thanks for the oil.
Have a good trip home. Take care.